Hello everyone, my name is Praveen Mishra and I welcome you all to StudyIQ IAS English, your favorite channel. And today we are going to discuss about the state of Mizoram. Yes, our Mizoram in our northeast, one of the most beautiful states, what we can conclude. So, what is actually the news? What is actually the concern? So, it's about a crisis taking place in our state that is known as the refugee crisis. But before we start with the further of the discussion, is it really correct to take the word crisis? Is really there is some crisis or not? Well, we shall conclude this question at the end of the session, and you can let us know into the comment section after you have watched the whole session, right? So, refugee crisis in Manipur, is it really the crisis or maybe something else? So, let's start the discussion. What has happened? Just within last 72 hours, nearly 3 to 4 days, what we can say basically, roughly 4,000 Myanmar people, they have Myanmarese people, they have entered into our country through the porous borders of Mizoram. Right, so as you can see, amid fresh fighting, 4,000 refugees. Okay, how many of them? 4,000 refugees. They have entered where? They have entered Mizoram, and they have largely entered basically into two distinct locations. The first one is Zokauthar, and the second one is Saikumphai. So these are the two villages which has witnessed or encountered or has basically also welcomed. This is what the most wonderful thing of Indian people and specifically the Mizo people, right? They have represented. It's not just they have entered our Mizo people, our Mizoram state. Okay, specifically these two locations, that is the Zokauthar and Saikumphai. They have the people residing there. They have even welcomed people very gracefully with, all normalcy, basically what we can say, okay, to those people, those who are facing execution into their own homeland, that is the Myanmarese people, right? So, but now, here is the concern. Are we having enough sources and resources to feed these high influx of people, to feed these people with such amount of 4,000? Well, the fact here is we do have it, but the other problem is it is not just 4,000. So total right now, when we talk about totally as of now, more than 33,000 people they have entered India from Myanmar since last 5 years. So a silent humanitarian crisis is being unfolded in our state of Manipur, right? That is on our eastern frontier. So what you can see here, the first thing, over 4,000 refugees, okay, but this 4,000 refugees only in last 4 days. Secondly, what we can see, nearly 33,000 refugees, they have entered India since 2024, since 2021. That is the time period. They have, faced the military issues there. They have faced the military coup there, right? Okay. So India has quietly absorbed how many? 33,000 refugees since last 4 years, as in from 2021 onwards. It is the time period since, okay, the military coup is going on in the state of Myanmar between the military and the government, right? And who is suffering? Obviously, only and only the common man has to suffer. Now, what we can understand here, we have got two states here. The state one, that is obviously Myanmar. State two, that is it's India, right? So now, what is the whole scenario? What is the whole concern here? If you see the first thing, what's happening in Myanmar? Second one, why is Mizoram bearing the brunt? Okay, and thirdly, what will we do as India? What are the legal, humanitarian, and strategic implications for India? So two states are here, okay, those who are in consideration. The first one is the state of Myanmar, and secondly, we, the people of India, right? So what is actually happening in Myanmar that we have already understood, that, the clashes going on between the government as well as the military, along with some other militia groups, basically, right? So the other problem is, why is Mizoram bearing the brunt? What is the concern with the Mizoram? And how India, that is we, how are we going to deal with such problems? So here are the three questions that needed to be addressed. So what is the crisis actually? So when you talk about actual crisis, so the latest flashpoint began in early July 2025 when two anti-junta, and that is anti-military groups, of Myanmar, that is known as Chin National Defense Forces, and the another one, Chin Defense Forces Hakka. So Chin National Defense Forces and Chin Defense Forces Hakka, these are the two militia groups or the militant groups of the state of Myanmar. They turned their guns on each other in Myanmar's Chin state, basically a region that borders Mizoram. Okay, what is this? A state that borders Mizoram. Oh, sorry, a state of Mizoram that is, okay, that borders Myanmar. Right. So what has happened? The two militia groups, what are these two militia groups? Okay, Chin National Defense Force and the another one, Chin Defense Force. Where are they being active? So they are being active into the Chin state. Where? Chin state in Myanmar. And this Chin state is close to which Indian state? It is obviously this time Mizoram. Right? Next thing. As violence spiraled, civilians, including women, children, and other military fighters, they, rushed to save their life, and they entered Mizoram, Manipur, and some other parts of the country as well, seeking safety and asylum from us, that is India. Apart from that, what is the recent thing? This latest wave brings the total number once again to 33,000. Okay, since the military coup of February 2021. Now we are feeding 33,000 Myanmari people. Myanmarese people, those who are literally not has entered India through valid visa, passport, and everything. They are basically coming to India with without not with sorry without any valid documents, without any valid passports, without any valid documents, simply speaking. Okay, so we have welcomed them, no doubt in that. They are here as refugees, and remember, India do not have any law that is based or made specifically for refugees. Right now, root cause. What is exactly the root cause of the exodus of these 33,000 people? So Myanmar has been in civil war situation since 2021. After the coup, several ethnic armed groups and civilian groups like Chinland Defense Force, Chinland National Defense Force, okay, they rose up against the junta, that is the military there. The Chen people, largely Christians, okay, their religious identity is they are largely Christians, marginalized and long oppressed, have been one of the worst affected communities. And they have seen multiple problems. The first one, okay, their villages being bombed by the Myanmar's military. Apart from that, the burning of the churches and the homes. And yes, mass arrests, disappearances, as well as torture. Like all the, you know, limits of anti-human activities, they have been touched by the Myanmar's military against these people. And so those people, roughly 33,000 people, in order to save up their lives, they have rushed to India, where the most, the secure location for them, the most easy and the most accessible location for them became to be Mizoram. And that's why Mizoram is just bearing the brunt, right? So amid the chaos, what has happened? Many seeks safety in India, especially in Mizoram. Why? Okay, there is a very basic thing here, that is the community specific connectivity. This is what the line is: community specific community. So Mizoram, not just because it's nearby, but because the Mizo and the Chin people, they share common ancestry, common language, as well as common culture, right? So why Mizoram? Because the Mizo people, our Mizo people, and the Chin people of Myanmar, they do face, okay, they do share the same ancestry, the same culture, as well as the same identity, what we can say. Okay, so the custom is same, so is the religion, and so is the ancestry, so is the language as well. So we say Mizo people and Chin people. Are they same regardless of their geographical identity? Yes, they are. So obviously people will be welcoming them, and there is nothing wrong in that. And it's a very wonderful thing as well that we as Indians, we do represent. that if you are our people, okay, don't worry. Our home is your home. Come to us. We will save you. We will protect you. We'll feed you until and unless things are normal at your end, right? So, why Mizoram has responded in such a way? Mizoram has basically responded very differently. Mizoram basically refused to deport the Myanmar refugees even when the union government has made the clear-cut instructions to the state governments. What has happened? Local NGOs like Young Mizo Associations and some other churches, they have built community shelters, schools, as well as hospitals for these Chin people as well. Mizoram CM, as we can see here, CM Zoramthanga has openly defied New Delhi's hardline stance. And he has stated, we cannot remain indifferent when our own people are running for their own lives. So this is what CM of Mizoram has to state, right? Now, the next problem. What is India's legal position on refugees? So remember, we are not signatory. India has no national law that defines who refugee is, unlike the states of Canada, Germany, Sweden, and so on. We are not signatory to the 1951 UN Refugee Convention, neither its 1967 protocols. So remember, in India, do we have any domestic law for refugees? No. Are we signatory to any international convention on refugees? No, absolutely not. So here, when we talk about this word, refugees in India, we do not have any law, okay, any law for refugees in India, neither domestic, neither international. We are not signatory to the 1951 Convention on Refugees, neither its 1967 protocols, right? Now, what India relies on? So basically, we relies on the three laws. The first one is the Foreigners Act of 1946, which empowers the government to deport any foreign national who enters without valid documentation, right? Apart from that, the Citizenship Act of 1955 deals with the acquisition and loss of Indian citizenship. And further, the Passport Entry into India Act of 1920. It is used to regulate foreign entry. So these are the three basic laws that talks about the foreigner's passport and citizenship. But explicitly or implicitly or exclusively, it never talks about any kind of refugees. It talks about any illegal migrant or immigrant that has entered India, but not any refugee. Now, what does international law says? Who is basically a refugee as per the 1951 Refugee Convention? So it defines refugee as someone with a well-founded fear of any kind of persecution based on race, religion, nationality, or political opinion in his or her homeland, right? So it introduces the principle of non-refoulement. Non-refoulement as in a refugee must not be sent to a place where they face danger. If you have received any refugee, it's your responsibility, okay, to not send him back or her back to the very same place where they face any kind of threat to their life. Now, the next thing. Even though India hasn't signed any of the conventions, neither do we have any law. But we have got our constitution that stipulates Article 21, right to life and personal liberty. And as per the Article 21, as per the protocols or the conventions of Article 21, even Supreme Court has stated in a case, okay, so you can have the case reference, okay, that is the National Human Rights Commission versus the State of Arunachal Pradesh, 1996. Okay, here the court barred forced eviction of Chakma refugees who came to India after 1960s, okay, from Bangladesh. Held that life and liberty of every person on Indian soil must be protected regardless of their nationality. So basically, Article 21, it is for whom? It is for Indian citizens as well as it is for non-Indian citizens. Okay, may it be, okay, a legal guest, what you can say, okay, any kind of a refugee, though we are not signatory, but we have to take care. Refugee as in the ones who has entered India illegally. because we do not have any law, so we consider all them as illegal entrants here, right? Now, strategic and geopolitical conditions, what has been created because of this coup going on in Myanmar. So India shares 1,643 kilometers of porous borders across 4 states, okay, with Myanmar. The 4 states being Mizoram, Manipur, Arunachal, and Nagaland, right? So in these 4 states alone, Mizoram is hosting 33,000 Chin people from Chin state of Myanmar, right? Now, traditionally, border communities like Mizo in India and Chin in Myanmar, they have enjoyed the free movement regime, allowing the travel up to 16 kilometers without any visa and passport beyond the borders. We have made a video known as free movement regime. We will pin that video link into the comment section as well. So I request you guys to watch the FMR video, the free movement regime. Okay, what is that? Now the next thing. But now this refugee inflow raises some complex challenges, as in the first and foremost, the security risk. The militants might sneak in disguised as civilians, or even the agents, or the other anti-social elements from China, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Next, the ethnic tensions, as seen in Manipur, where the Kuki-Zo community links to Myanmar caused friction with the Métis. And finally, center-state conflict. The Union Home Ministry wants a stricter enforcement, but border states like Mizoram resist. As what we have seen, the CM of Mizoram has stated that when our own people, they need us, we can't run away, right? And now the most important problem, the China factor in between. What has happened? China is increasing its presence in Myanmar, supporting the junta forces with arms and strategic access to its own Kwakpi port. And India's Act East policy, specifically the Kaladan multi-model project, a particular video that you have already seen with Ankit sir. We will just add this video's link as well. Okay, so you have seen about the multimodal transit project, and this crosses through the Chin state of Myanmar. So our Act East policy is also, in question here. And finally, India must balance this humanitarian issue with strategic silence to protect its infrastructure as well as regional stability and the interests. So we need to do this. It's a very serious concern for us, right? So now the question that we raised in the beginning, that is it really the refugee crisis? Can we really conclude it with yes, it is a crisis? Whatever your opinion is, do let us know into the comment section. It's very, very important for us to understand whether actually it is the crisis or not. And finally, guys, remember, before we conclude this session, if you are a serious aspirant and looking forward for some good level of guidance, good level of this preparation for you, so you know it very well, when it comes to prelims, to mains, to interview, you have got just one name, that is a StudyIQ. And for that we have been giving you some wonderful batches, and some upcoming batches are here as well in the name of resolution. So revolution unfolded in the name of resolution. So it's a GS P2I, July batch P2I, that is prelims to mains to interview. So if you are an aspirant looking for 2026, 27, or even 28, we have got you covered. So what will you get? 1,000 plus hours of the live classes, right? First thing. Second thing, access to recorded lectures taught by the greatest educators of this planet with regard to the UPSC CSE, Bhuvan Jha sir, Shashank sir, Prashant Tiwari sir, Abhishek sir, we have got Shubham Sagar sir, we have got Ankit Singh sir, we have got Ankit Agarwal sir, okay, we have got, those personalities, those who are in themselves the institutions, right, of their one particular or two particular subjects, whatever they are teaching. So those greatest teachers will be teaching you, first thing. Second thing, their own notes will be given to you in the PDF format immediately after the end of the session. And then the most beautiful thing here is you will get the prelims test series, you will get the mains test series, you will get the interview guidance program, all under one roof, right? All where? All under one single roof, right? Okay. So English, Hindi, and English, all three things will be there. So remember, guys, prelims to mains to interview, everything under one roof with Study IQ Resolution Batch. What you need is just a promo code, that is PRV Live. Okay, just you need this promo code, that is PRV Live, and the prices, they are starting at rupees 9,999 rupees only. What else do you want? Right? So prelims test series, mains test series, interview guidance program, every single thing in just one subscription. Apart from that, 18 sets of printed books will be given to you. Okay, you don't have to go anywhere to collect it. We will parcel it to you, courier it to you directly at your home. Okay, so you just need to share the address while taking up the subscription, and everything will be given to you at your doorstep only. The class PDFs immediately after the class, every single thing will be gifted to you. Right? Okay, and subscription, it is starting with just 9,999 rupees. So if you're going ahead with the gold subscription, we're going ahead with the platinum subscription, going ahead with the diamond subscription, okay, we got you covered with everything. Remember, guys, the batch is closing when? On 15th of July 2025. So enroll now, enroll at the earliest possible time, and get yourself covered by the greatest educators of this nation. Right, everyone? So thank you so much for joining. And please remember, before you leave, do not forget to hit the subscribe button of StudyIQ IAS English. As you know it very well, the channel is providing you all the quantity and quality of the content needed. And apart from that, if you wish to connect with me, we can connect on Instagram with the username Praveen Mishra _2107, and on Telegram, where I share all my class links, notes, and PDFs. That is known as a study_with_Praveen. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Do let us know your opinion into the comment section. Thank you. Good day. Bye bye. Take care. Hit the subscribe button and never miss an update from the channel. Okay, see you soon. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.